such as ballpoints, handouts, posters, are not permitted. Teams are not permitted to use any electronic devices during the presentation too, and they're encouraged to use written or printed notes, as you do. And when the round begins, teams will have 10 minutes to present their policy recommendation to the panel of judges. When there are 5 minutes remaining, I will hold up this green sign, so this one. Then when there is 1 minute remaining, it will be this yellow sign. And finally, when the time is up, I will hold up this red sign. So, no pass. And the penalty will be assessed for teams exceeding the time limit. At the conclusion of the team's presentation, I will ask all observers to leave the room. I think we have no one here. The team coach may remain in the room. You have no coach.
If needed, I'll act as a coach.
Then the panel of judges will have 10 minutes to ask direct questions of the teams regarding the policy recommendation. After that, it's exactly the same. When there are 5 minutes remaining, it will be the green signs, 1 minute, the yellow one, and when time is over, the red sign. After the session has concluded, the team is asked to leave the room while the judges score. There are 5 minutes scheduled for judges to complete their scorecards. After the scoring is over, there are 10 minutes scheduled for judges to provide feedback to the team. And then a 10-minute break is scheduled before the start of the next round. Audience members will please remember to silence cell phone and not to talk or get up during the team's presentation. So, do you have any questions? No, so now you can start.
Something important.
Live streaming.
Yes, we're going to be live streamed, so if you have any kind of restrictions about it, just tell us and we will stop it.
So if we forgot our makeup, we will not be live streaming.
Is it okay for you? Everything fine?
Yes, we're fine.
Can we start?
Good luck.
Okay,
Let's go.
Hello, my name is Sila, and this is my fellow student Helene. This is Moira, and this is Christina, and we are Team H1gh. We come from Tallinn Technical University, and today we will then tell you about our policy alternatives.
And as you know, during the recent weeks, multiple cyber attacks have been targeting several vital service provider networks in several EU countries. And in addition, we witnessed street riots and the spreading of fake news to further increase the dissatisfaction in people. So this problem requires immediate attention due to possible escalation into a cyber crisis. And the alternatives we are about to provide are suggesting relevant direct, indirect, long and short-term responses.
Okay, so as a first policy alternative, we're suggesting to handle public response and trainings. In this policy alternative, press releases should be held in the cities or the states that suffer protests from the Black Bloc, trying to reassure the public that the government is actually, their safety is of top priority to the government, and then law enforcement can double up during the process to prevent violent escalation. As a second point, H1gh can provide technical assistance to BVG to help them identify the point of intrusion into the systems because they suffered a ransomware attack. Then they could also require some auditing to make sure that the BVG actually meets the H1gh standards for the security of the infrastructure. And then we also have national certs in these different EU member states can organize trainings both for non-IT personnel and technical trainings for IT personnel of these vital service providers so that they can have basic cybersecurity knowledge on the steps to take to avoid certain kind of attacks. And this is because one of the vulnerabilities that was exploited was default passwords. And we can actually see how failing to change default passwords for your systems can actually lead to your system being exposed to attacks that can have grave consequences. And then as a long-term measure, we're suggesting that the first, together with trusted introducer can compile some guidelines for these vital service providers that can in turn be sent to the different national certs, and they can be distributed to the healthcare facilities within the states so that they can have guidelines to follow on the recommendations to be implemented for their security. And then the advantage of this, the strength, is that it improves the dialogue between national certs and healthcare service providers, and they can reach out in case of problems for technical assistance. Weakness is it doesn't directly protect these systems from further attacks. The opportunity from this is that these organizations can actually take initial steps to strengthening the security of the systems. And the threat of this is that for the healthcare facilities, the management boards may not take the matter seriously because they may not be willing to dispense funding for like security trainings when they can direct their funding towards other sectors, such as probably acquiring new devices for the hospitals.
Good. I'm going to tell you about technical response and why cooperation is important. So the first thing is to address the people, because if somebody hears something from some other media channel, they start the speculations, and this is why it is important that designate spokesperson of the government or the national cert. They will address the public, and they will actually tell them what is going on and which systems, if possible, or public information as much as possible will be handed out so that the public will have the information. They will not make any speculations. What is also highly important is to ensure that the safety of the people is the utmost importance. It's the most important thing that there will be no casualties, neither in ransomware attacks or due to vulnerable services and devices. What also must be done is to call out for businesses so that they would pay more attention to their business continuity plans. So not only have the backup lying around somewhere in the drawer, but also to make sure that you know how to use it and how to restore from a backup service, and so that the backup will not be a year old and has been lying around in the drawer for ages. What also must be done, or what is recommended, that the national certs will provide guidelines which will be modified based on the national situation. The manufacturers, they hold 12 and 25% of European market. So this is why the national approach is needed by the certs. So the first thing to do is to map or find out which hospitals are using the vulnerable devices or the targeted devices, and provide those specific hospitals with the guidelines how to keep their systems safe until a patch is released. What also has to be done by the national cert is to provide a general guideline how to deal or how to implement a business continuity plan, and what should be included. This can be a general guidelines that can be taken over by both public sector and private industries. And as ransomware is $1 billion business as of this year, already predicted in 2017, people pay ransomware other than take care of their systems. The national certs also to provide guidelines in the local languages how to prevent ransomware infections and how to restore the systems, and also backups. What also needs to be done, or what is recommended to do, is that manufacturers who hold such a big share of European market, the cooperation between European countries and also the European institutions to give the manufacturers a time frame to update or release the service patches to patch the vulnerabilities which have been uncovered. And if those time frames have not been met, then to take the legal responses and also to implement financial sanctions if the manufacturers do not meet the given time frame. Then, as I mentioned already in the beginning, open source information and rumors, these are important, and therefore it is recommended to put together a joint open source intelligence group who would be responsible in determining the spread of fake news And also by that, maybe to get some further intelligence who is behind Novenon and Aldorka groups, and whether there is some connection detected. Then another recommendation is that agencies responsible for supervision on a national level, they address the vital service providers and critical infrastructure, so that they would actually order a security audit for the systems to detect the vulnerabilities, and also order a plan how to fix the vulnerabilities detected and the weaknesses. And last but not least, this is the most longest solution of them all. The countries who are following the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime, they should review legislation both on national and international cooperation standard, how to deal with those situations on a legal basis, because a lot of things unfortunately they stay behind legal issues and aspects. The strength of it is, of course, that multiple organizations, they are cooperating. This means a lot of specialists from with different areas of expertise and skills. The opportunity is also to improve the collaboration amongst private sector, national search, government institutions, and European institutions. So this is already a step forward to be ready if another cyber crisis hits. And the weakness is of course that this takes effect, and some states might oppose the general ideas of threats between the countries. Then we also have policy objective number 3 with combining a task force. Then the first task force should be in the fields of open source intelligence and validating the news using an article which might have a strategic relevance, and also to stop spreading of the fake news. And the second task force is to be put together with international intelligence agencies, national search and answer if needed, and designated military units to determine the possible connection between the Novenon and Aldorka group. And the goal is, of course, to gather information as much as possible about them. The strength is...
The time is over.
Weren't you supposed to show the photos?
You missed it? Thank you for your presentation. Now we have the question and answer. Thank you.
Ready for a question, for the 10 minutes question now.
You want me to start? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is very convincing. I have a question regarding attribution. Do you have any indication as of who might be behind these attacks? Is it the state behind it, or is it the...
Here, there is a bigger actor in place there who is responsible also for recruiting personnel from those top 500 IT businesses, which is listed. But this is to deal with the joint preparation and to recover information as much as possible, because for one single group, for example, who used ransomware to finance their actions so far, then this is too big of a gap and to undo the situation.
So if you're saying it's a major actor behind it, you referring to state actor, or you referring to...
At this particular point, we really cannot place attribution, because there were reports about activities of F0ur, but there was nothing about Novenon. So actually the third policy on attribution was supposed to have multiple agencies working together, probably reaching out to international intelligence agencies, maybe for example US intelligence, to find out more information on these groups. Also maybe have the EU Intelligence Center kind of launch an investigation into Novenon to try to understand what exactly are their motives, what are their allies, because we don't have any information about them. The only thing we know at this particular point is one member was arrested, and he was like a high-level IT person, and he was from a Fortune 500 company. So the speculation from that fact alone is perhaps they were recruiting other people from these high IT positions. So the aim of this policy 3 was actually to have more intel to be able to say with a high degree of confidence who exactly is responsible. But at this particular point, we have no definite answer for attribution.
And whether with the top 500 IT companies, they should be alerted for the inside threat.
So you don't think this ransomware attack on the Luban is at all related to the other attacks?
We think it might be related, just not like related directly to the attack, but the fact that they used ransomware, which was stated based on the previous reports that supports the scenario, that says that ransomware attacks is a field where H1gh has diversified into because they're aiming to raise funds. So that is the speculation. If not alone, based on the protest, if they are more politically inclined, then why are they using ransomware? So that is where we are suspecting maybe there is a link between Novenon and H1gh, but at this particular point, there is nothing that points to the fact that the attack on the train line and the attack on the healthcare facilities were directly related.
And it's also not, there's no evidence that the F0ur attack is directed specifically against F0ur to regain or replay the situation in San Francisco. There's no direct evidence of it. So this is why the search fund will be investigating if there's a connection. Or was it just somebody accidentally opened infected workflow?
Yeah, I, as a very hot-tempered and military commander and in charge of the cyber corps here in the EU, I'm interested to hear that should we not just sit over here, no deterrence, no retribution, anything like that? What do you think? I'd like to do something.
Our recommendation was to implement Policy 22, which is covering the major incidents that occurred in the past weeks. And it is also putting pressure on the cooperation between the agencies, which would ensure that the critical infrastructure and the vital service providers' IT structures would meet the IT security standard requirements. And if they don't meet, then they should put in place.
Can I say something? Just for this point? Adding to that, at this particular point, military response seems like a good thing, but military response against who? We don't know. So that's why military response, it can be good to like try to do some countermeasures or counterintelligence to fight this attack. But at this particular point, since there is no confirmation or attribution, we cannot go offensive because we might go offensive against the wrong group of people and actually cause more damage or create some it can backfire. That's what I'm trying to say. So at this point, we would rather gather as much information as we can to be sure of who is involved before thinking of defensive measures.
And for the person who gets arrested, you can always interrogate him. And if he is in it for money, then possibly negotiate with him if you would also be willing to cooperate with law enforcement, just to maybe even get some softer punishment.
Is there somebody who is responsible for all the activities?
Could you?
Who is responsible for all the activities? You spoke about intelligence, proactive, sharing the information, CERT. Who is responsible? Who is in charge?
International Crisis Committee. That was the policy number 4. That crisis committees should be formed both on national and international level should the threats get more severe and more frequent. And this is also the forever issue of cross-border cybercrime, where it's always difficult to decide who is in charge, who does what. And this is also one of the main points why I mentioned the Budapest Convention, because the point so far, the cooperation is on a basic level, it's stated, and then there are mutual cooperation agreements also between different institutions.
So to pick up on the point on the Budapest Convention, question, there's some information in the scenario that describes potential Russian and also Chinese aspects here. How do you plan on coordinating and cooperating with them? How does your policy alternative help your engagement with these non-Budapest Convention signatories?
Well, at this particular point, as an initial stage, the policy was focusing more on the people who are part of the Budapest Convention and who are directly affected by this, to try to come up with this legislation as a long-term option, because, like I said, again, there is just hints, but there is no confirmation that they are actually part of this. So at this particular point, the focus is dealing with the people who are affected and who are part of the convention, to try to come up with these solutions for the problem.
Okay, what do you think, what would be like the way forward? Now we are having this Europe-wide internal discussions, and we know that our friends back behind the sea at US, they have lots of good intel there. How could we
International Intelligence Agency. We definitely want to include US intelligence agencies and cooperate with them. This is why no names of intelligence agencies was specifically mentioned.
Okay. There's lots of these good like recommendations about guidelines for sales, etc. But what would be your recommendation now that we are giving out these instructions to healthcare organizations and shares and country organizations, that they have any effectivities of this follow-up? Cooperation, yes, and validating that there is actually happening something.
Cooperate and check up.
Audit afterwards if these things are implemented. If they are not implemented, improve them. This is also the reason why we have the Spain part, so people would be more well educated, so they don't do real mistakes.
And also people will be more willing to cooperate with these institutions put in place by the government to actually help, because at the end of the day, whether it's the healthcare facilities or other institutions, it's all for the general benefit of the nation. So collaboration is key, but in one of the policies we also mentioned that the threat would be that the management boards of these organizations have other priorities, and it's tough to strike a balance between providing the services that your company is supposed to and securing them. So maybe as an organization, like we mentioned, the threat would be their focus is on another department instead of focusing on security. Maybe they just want to make sure the system is running, but they are not so interested in securing those systems.
So not only doctors save lives, but cyber means that doctors also help to save lives.
What about we have lots of these legislation in other sectors, making the board responsible for lots of things, for example, good behavior in governing businesses. So why not make these healthcare boards responsible for things to consider about the security and continuity really directly? Legislation, regulation.
They will not cooperate anymore.
If we want the cooperation, we cannot start fleeing them. Positive reinforcement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We leave you
Okay.
for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will go back to the event.
Must have been. Let's see what happens.
Waterboard the guy who died. Until he admits it.
I think Trump would do it personally.
How you say this? So I just have a question for everybody. I found this problem to be very difficult because it's so vague. There's not really much information. Do you agree with that, or do you feel it's clear what should be done?
One thing that I missed, for instance, is what is going on actually with situational awareness. They didn't really explain what the problem is. So if I hadn't read the scenario, it wouldn't be clear for us, and they just jumped right into the policy response.
Yeah, I felt like it was too technically oriented rather than national organizational oriented.
I think that we have to remember that this is the first team.
Yeah, and they
So
didn't
we
have
are also
coach.
having to make some movement between ourselves.
Yeah.
The scenario is not an easy one.
Yeah.
And if you have not been prepared to give kind of response, then everything is just, okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask them when is it going to stop.
Right.
So I believe that while we are scoring, we have to look also about, okay, this is the first time, this is a very complex scenario, but they have to come also with a solution. I'm a little bit confused because it was the first one, so I didn't see the others, and they don't have any, we cannot compare, so we do it the way that we do it, it's the best way.
Yeah, and there is a difference between
Yes.
the teams.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, because I was reading on the team first scanner scoring them, and we see that there's big differences between the best ones and the not so much.
I think they focused on long-term solutions like setting up guidelines and training, and, which is very good, but for the time being, where we have to handle the incidents that might have been improved or outlined in a better way. But as you said, and they did have a coach. I think this is something we also need to maybe take into.
This is also a lesson learned for us.
Yeah.
Whether, let's imagine that it happens to us, what have we done? What we have already done in order to make sure that we will come out with a quick solution.
Josh's initials is just name, or would you
Initials.
Initials. Okay.
Or you can put your name. Yes.
So you guys are not collecting these
We
for
are.
yourself. So
Yes.
I find it very hard to, now that we only have met one sheet, really say they're best of anything. So
I understand.
we'll come back to these later.
I can ask my colleague which is in charge of all the organization, but I think it won't be a problem to leave it maybe on the side and come back for
That
discuss,
makes
so
sense.
that you can have some kind of comparison with the other teams. But I will ask. So
Okay.
maybe the scorecards here on the side. I will ask my colleague, and in the meantime we can ask the team to come back for feedback. Is that okay for you?
We have a 10-minute session of feedback now.
Hello.
Now the scoring is over, so you will have 10 minutes to give some feedback to the judges. So if someone wants to start.
Yeah, maybe.
Should I pick up someone?
No problem, I'll be the first one. First of all, I think that you've done a great job, and we thank you very much for this. I'm speaking on behalf of myself, but I believe there are other things as well. I was wondering when it is going to stop. What are you going to do in order to stop it? The chaos is going on, people are trying to do things, maybe there is something, you call it the international or whatever group, which is the one to deal with the solutions. But as a matter of fact, I didn't find that there is going to be a solution quickly, and the public is under chaos. They don't know what to do, they lose money, they think about the trains that nobody will know what will happen. And I didn't see a very clear policy how to deal with it. Maybe you came after the policy was already written, so you were expecting that you will come out with solution taking from the policy that was trained or not. I didn't find it. So maybe you can add now and say some things about it. But I was missing some of the very important points about, okay, it is happening, how we are going to stop immediately, what acts are we going to do, what legal issues we are going to do, what kind of privacy problems we are going to have, etc. I don't want to have more. I'm saying it because you're students and you're going to come out with new ideas and out of the box thinking, and I believe that this part should be added in the future.
Yeah, I thought it was a great oral presentation. You did a very good job presenting your policy alternatives. Some things that I would have liked to see would have been more of a focus on law enforcement cooperation rather than intelligence cooperation. I think especially when it comes to cooperating with the United States. So one of the hackers that was caught was working for a U.S.-based entity of the organization in charge of any investigation there would most likely be the FBI, which is a law enforcement organization. And they
But for example, one of our national cert is under police department in some countries.
yeah, of course. I mean, that's a
Then
different
there's
issue in
also
the European Union, but
yeah.
when you're reaching out to the United States, it would be into a law enforcement capacity because DHS has overview over the certs in the United States, but they don't have a law enforcement investigator over there. But yeah, overall it was a good job, and I don't want to cede some time to the rest of my colleagues here.
Yes, I can only echo what has been said. You did a really great job. I think it was a great teamwork. You worked together. I think this would happen in a real situation that you have experts in different areas presenting that to the policymakers. I really much like that you went public right away, that you wanted to inform proactively what is going on. This is something that is very good, reassuring the public that you have everything under control, that you're taking this very seriously. One of the things that I missed is the situational awareness. What is going on? Don't overestimate the capacity of the policymakers. Dedicate a couple of minutes just outlining what is actually happening, who is affected, what you already know, which healthcare care systems were impacted, what countries were affected. You said a couple of EU members dedicate a couple of minutes to really outline this.
Okay, we did, just to influence that, because there was this really short time, age frame, then this is why we didn't specifically mention, but also pointed out that as already given in the policy brief.
Yeah. Just don't assume we know.
No.
This is the only thing I'm trying to.
Okay. I was under the impression that maybe the decision document was a follow-up of the written policy.
Yeah.
Because in the written policy brief, we did actually pretty much outline who is affected, where, what happened.
Even if that's the case, in a real situation, you would have to explain it again. That's at least how I have framed it.
Yeah, the paperwork was excellent, what you're doing, and your way of showing it was good too, but I was also missing that what went where exactly, more precise, because we don't know anything, and
We were counting on you having the previous documents.
And then the really the action points, what we have to do next. We have to do the decisions, and we need the help for that. That's important point.
I can only agree with my colleagues. I think I very much like the structure, good teamwork, and we're making eye contact. Yeah, in terms of the exercise, it's good to assume that we've read the brief because we have. But in the real world, this would be true. So that's kind of a difficult thing, right? Is this an exercise where you simulate the real world? Of course, in the real world, most of these people would not have read it. I can't tell you how many management briefs I've written which were just completely ignored. And that's happened to all of us. So yeah, a quick summary. Let me recap. Take 1 minute. I think maybe that would be good. When we're giving the feedback, don't comment back. Okay, just take what we're giving you, and then you don't have to agree. Privately, you can go say that is bullshit. But just take what we're giving you. And yes, I agree with my colleague. Maybe the one thing that could have been better is to be more precise as to what I, as a decision maker, should do. You heard my favorite general here saying, "Who should I bomb?" To which you gave a good answer. I don't know yet, but maybe a little bit more precise. It's implicit here. But maybe, really the bullet points. So at the end of this meeting, we would recommend that you collectively do boom, 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 and within 1 month do this, 3 months that, whatever, something like that.
Yeah, there's been lots of this positive already said, and I will just join my colleagues over here with good presentation, very precise, and you had good, great structure and communicating things over here. And I think that I pretty much said that what I was thinking earlier, that this. Thinking about this deterrence. Now, what you are offering us is a sort of long-term, looking forward, sort of taking a very reactive mode in a way. But can we be more proactive and really even predicting what would happen next? There were these indications that this malware thing, what is happening here in this healthcare is very hot over now, and we can somehow manage that. But what do next step? There were things about this patient information integrity compromise, which to me sounds very serious stuff. Will that be the future, perhaps, and how we could prepare for that? Doing this, or perhaps I've been always a little bit skeptical about this private-public, especially with the institutions in education, but perhaps more put some fire with these guys that innovate things to this perhaps new threat. How could we tackle that? But anyways, very, very good. Perhaps more like proactive, predictive, and mostly reactive, and somehow to more take the control of the situation in these healthcare organizations. That they have their manual processes. Are they really working? What if this gets really more worse? Can you really manage with your paperwork or anything like that, or are you dependent on using technology?